I was, yes, and that's my only claim to fame. And then I'm the youngest of the new city of Ottawa still, because Bob and Larry were much older than I was. So I'm going to be 60, and I think in March I become the longest serving mayor. I think I beat out Harold Fisher. That's a good question, and I'll be able to give you an answer next year. It's a challenging decision, because on the one hand I love what I'm doing. I'm enjoying it. I think we're making a lot of progress on things that sort of got stuck in the mud for a long time, like LRT Lansdowne, the Ottawa Art Gallery, the Innovation Centre. These things that I put on my campaign platform that I'm able to check off. I tell people, and it's the honest answer, it's a 50-50 decision right now.
This whole thing about the Watson Club, the suggestion is, that you value loyalty from people maybe more than certain competence to put them in certain jobs, committee heads, etc., and that you have a sort of a cabinet or a group of councillors who are going to support you.
Like some of the people who throw that accusation always vote the same way themselves on the opposite side. So they're not a part of a club. They're all independent, even though they vote the same way. And it's a bit of a mountain out of a molehill when they keep raising this as, oh, I lost that vote. Well, guess what? Maybe I did a better job of lobbying to say, you know what, we really need to get this money in the budget to help this neighborhood. Are you with me? Yeah. You want to have a skill set and competency, but also, do these individuals get along with their vice chair, with the mayor, with the city manager? There is, I think, that role that the mayor has to bring some sense of semblance of order, really, to the budgeting process, because this is a $4.4 billion corporation. Social media is a blessing and a curse. Like, on the one hand, I really value sort of the input from the average citizen directly to me. Sometimes, it gets you, and other times, it's like, when there's sort of homophobic comments that, it's, come on, like, this is not high school, we don't need that. But when they're attacking your character or your staff's work and so on, that can be frustrating, because so many people unfortunately believe what they read. Well, I saw it on Twitter, it must be true. The city of Ottawa is in good financial shape. We have a AAA credit rating from Moody's. The bigger concern, Kelly, that I have is how do we deal with the impact on the downtown core? Because all of a sudden, most of the customers of these restaurants on Bank Street and Elgin Street and Queen Street are now, working from home. So, we've written to Treasury Board to ask what their timeline roughly is to start getting people to come back safely. You know what, I think we can overreact to that. There's always going to be some adjustment, and there'll be some people that will enjoy working from home, figure they can work from home, and that will be their employer's choice. But I think after a while, people are going to say, you know what, I want to get back with some people. Like in my case, I live on my own, so it's anyone who's single, it's even more isolating. I've watched so many bad Netflix movies, that I can't imagine. There's never been a day where I've dreaded. There have been days where it's been, tough to say, oh God, the train is not working, or the tragedy of the bus crash, or the flooding, or the tornado, where you have to gather every sort of ounce of strength to realize, like, you're sort of the face of this. You're going to be the one explaining, what happened with Corporal Cirillo, and you're going to be on TV, talking about the response for the flood victims, or the bus tragedy in Westboro, or the train crash in the bus in Barrhaven. So I've enjoyed, it doesn't seem like a job when you really like going into it. I think the day when you're no longer happy and you're sort of more unhappy than happy is probably the time for you to move on.